My very first theater experience was Empire Strikes Back, and then of course I seen Return of the Jedi when I was a little boy. Well, obviously I've got Star Wars right here.
Whoa!
So I'm pretty hardcore fan about it.
Welcome to Arc-Zone's video channel.
Hello, I'm Jason Moser. I'm from Batesville, Arkansas. I'm out here on the West Coast visiting Arc-Zone and talking welding gear. For the past 4 years, of course, I've been keeping up with my daily gig, which I work for the state DOT in Arkansas, Department of Transportation, where I run a fabrication shop there. Also have my own business as well, Moser Fab. You can find me on Instagram at Moser_Fab. I have my own shop, and I've been doing that for the past, say, 10 years, and that business is going really well, staying busy. I'm building a lot of custom pieces, a lot of custom furniture, custom lighting, just anything you can imagine. I mentioned that I work for the state DOT, and of course there's a lot of people that work for the DOT. People would come through the shop. Of course I was working on equipment there, and they say, hey, you know, I've got a boat at home that needs a little bit of illuminating work, or could you build me a custom TV stand, or could you do this? So naturally I read right into that, and that's how that all started, and now it's took on a life of its own, and I stay plenty busy. The biggest challenge for me is I'm in rural Arkansas, so there's just not a huge population, so you have to really, you really be diverse on, yeah, I can do your custom lighting, but also I can work on your horse trailer too. Or I could build your kitchen stainless cabinets, or I can work on your bass boat. I mean, you just have to really be versed in a lot of different aspects of welding. At first it was word of mouth, but then, Facebook and Instagram, and then, stuff like that has taken off, and it's really grown my business quite a bit. There are especially people like within my state that follow. I've picked up a lot of traction that way. It's definitely helped me. Favorite so far is probably, I don't know, I've got a CK 200, MT200 little TIG welder in my shop that's absolutely great. And the Monster Series cups are probably been one of my favorite things that I've got in the past couple of years. It seems like, of course you get better coverage, but it seems like they're just really, really smooth. The Sharpie grinder, that's been a game changer for me, because I can have my Sharpie grinder right there on the table. I'm not getting up, going to the grinder, and getting a pretty decent finish on my tungsten, versus I've got some right here in my hand and it's absolutely perfect every time. So that's been awesome. Probably the most used tool in my shop is a 4.5-inch grinder. I mean, that's how I do a lot of my work, with a grinder in one hand, whether it be a cutoff wheel, a grinding rock, or a polish pad, or that's just one of my go-to tools, besides the tape measure and pencil. If I had unlimited funds, I would probably, for my home shop, I have a pretty nice Build Pro fab table at the DOT, but if I had unlimited funds, I would definitely step up to a much larger Build Pro table. That would be number one on my list, because they are amazing. I do a lot of copper sconces and lights and custom lighting and stuff like that. You can make a fixture, you repeat it over and over and over. Yeah, that's definitely on my list. There's nothing that I won't try to make. I'd say my number one goal right now is to retire from the DOT and work Moser Fab full time, and I'm close. That would be the ultimate, to be able to just walk out my back door to my own shop and do that full time. I would love to be able to do that, but I do 40 hours there, and I do probably more than that in my own shop, and I don't know how I do it, but I do. And sometimes I'll even pick up moonlight jobs at other shops, local, just because it's hard to make a living down there. Well, what I do for fun is I play the drums all my life, so I play with a couple bands, and I do that quite a bit. Yeah, I love it. I'd have to say one of the things that's on my bucket list is I would like to visit the rest of the pro partners at their shops. I would like to go to Michigan and visit the Michelers, and I'd like to go see Thomas at Cold Hard Art. Of course, I've been out here and seen Joni and Jim on the West Coast, and I love that. I'd like to get up to Dave's. That's on my list. I would love to do that. I didn't even have a clue all the high-end quality TIG consumables that were out there. I mean, I worked for decades, just same cup, same tungsten. I got introduced to Arc-Zone and all the other different companies, CK, and there's just so much more out there than I was aware of. Just being associated with these guys, I've had people that may specialize in other venues of welding that I can bounce out. If I have a problem in my shop, like say I've got a problem with some stainless steel welding questions, I could call Jim Watson up, and he would give me any kind of advice I need, or I can call Nick and Wes up, or anybody. And it's been a great little core group of guys that I could bounce ideas and get information and advice, and it's just been great. What gets under my skin? Honest to God, not a whole lot. I'm pretty laid back, easy going. I don't let a lot bother me, and I'm too old. I just don't worry about it. I don't think about it. I just do what I do and make money for my family and just do what I do. Some of the most gnarly stuff that I have to do at work, we deal with a lot of asphalt and asphalt oils and stuff, and I have to cut on those tanks quite a bit, and every once in a while I have to get inside one of those tanks. You wear a special suit, and then when you get done you just throw all of your clothes away because it's really nasty. It ruins everything you come in contact with. Some of that can be pretty nasty. Anything that has asphalt tar on it is terrible to work on. Go ahead. What's going on with Star Wars is I just love Star Wars. My very first theater experience was Empire Strikes Back. And then, of course, I seen Return of the Jedi when I was a little boy. And then there was this long hiatus, and then you had the prequels come out, and now they've started, Disney's got a hold of it. And I'm just a true fan. Obviously I've got Star Wars right here.
Whoa!
So I'm pretty hardcore fan about it, and I love the outer space and the sci-fi and all the equipment in it, all the gear, all the machines and the gear. That's what I think has. And if you'll notice, every Star Wars movie has somebody welding in it. They all have somebody welding in it. Chewbacca, Han Solo. There's always somebody welding or grinding or cutting or working on a ship in a Star Wars flick. All of them. Go back and watch them. Go back and watch them.
Shocked.
I want a job doing movie props for Star Wars movies.
You could.
That'd be so good.